Hey guys, welcome back to another My Builds video. In today's video, I'm going to be tire swapping the LEGO Technic Jeep Wrangler. In this video, I'm going to go from small tires all the way to really large tires. Also, just an extra note, I took the spacers off when I took the stock wheels off, and I also took these yellow spacers off. These yellow spacers are actually meant for the suspension, because in here, in the stock model, these pieces are pushed into this black part here, and I just took both on both sides out. While I put these tires on here, I just want to thank all of you guys for watching my previous shorts, especially the recent short that came out about this video specifically. I meant to put that out as just kind of a hint at this video, so thank you to all of you for subscribing. I'm currently, I believe, at 214 subs, I want to say, which is really awesome. And I think my next goal is to get to about 250. So now, as you guys can see here, I put all the tires on, and this thing barely clears the ground. Just looking at the frame here compared to the wheels have a slight distance from the ground. Or, I mean, the frame is slightly off the ground here. So it's just barely able to roll, which I think is kind of crazy. Obviously, this is very unrealistic, but if you wanted your Jeep to look like, I don't know, you got it lifted with a 1 foot lift or something, realistically speaking, I guess this is your option, but this is not the way to go. Next up here, we're going to be throwing some of my F1 wheels on. These are really nice. They're slightly larger than the wheels we just tested, so that's, I guess, a benefit. I would say this wheel is about the size of the rim, so it's slightly thicker, tire like diameter wise. So now I'm going to be putting these tires on with this side facing in, just because it works best. Doesn't look the best, but I don't know, I don't want to use the spacers right now. And I know you guys are thinking, just use the spacers, it's not that hard. But I don't know, I'm just trying this way, so. One more wheel. All right, so as you guys can see, we now have slightly more ground clearance. Looking at the frame here, a little more, not much, but it's a little bit better. I think it looks kind of nice on it, but obviously these are super disproportionate and honestly just don't look good at all. Again, if you wanted your Jeep to look like you got a lift, there you go. But I honestly would not take this thing off-roading because it has no ground clearance whatsoever. Now we're going to be putting the stock wheels on. This is what the set actually came with, and these are the wheels that honestly look the nicest on the truck. But from here, it's honestly going to look even better. So let's throw these on. And with these wheels, I'm going to throw the spacers back on just because that's how the set was actually built. Sometimes putting these wheels on is so much harder than it should be. I don't know why, but honestly, sometimes it frustrates me and then I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm done for the day. I think when you, as a Lego builder, when you have a hard time putting the wheels on, that's when you're like, all right, well, I've had a long enough day. If I can just get this one wheel on, there we go. All right, so this is what the Jeep looked like stock. As you can see, it looks really nice. I would say the bulk of the tires though makes it a little bit harder to push around, just gives it some more resistance. But overall, I would say these tires work really well with the model because it really does look like an off-road vehicle. So now you guys might be wondering, why am I not using the other type of tractor tire, like these? Well, the actual reason behind that is because if you take a look at these tires, you'll see that for one thing, the tractor is a lot thinner, and overall, honestly, this looks better. So that's why. Now we're gonna be trying these tires. Now, as you can see, this is actually the tire from the YouTube short that I made. Go check that out. And it's a very large tire. Actually, to my left over here in the studio, my Ford GT has no wheels right now because these are its wheels. What's nice about these wheels is that they don't actually require a spacer. You just kind of throw them on this way and they fit perfectly. So I'm gonna throw all four on. So now you guys can clearly see this is actually the exact way that the Jeep looked during my short. So I think these honestly look the nicest on the Jeep just because, yes, they're not off-road. However, they do look really great with the suspension and everything. They line up really well. And, you know, when you're actually using the suspension, it actually doesn't bottom out or anything. So that's good. The only disadvantage here is that the front axle, this tire ends up rubbing against the frame, and that can get I guess that can get kind of messy if you RC modify this thing, because then it'll start to wear out and tear the tire and stuff. Additionally, what's nice about these tires is that they're actually kind of compressible in some sections, just because the tire kind of goes up and then around, and it's got like an air-filled section, kind of like a real tire. So I guess that's another little feature. All right, so now for our last tire option here, we're going to be using these wheels. I'm sure you've seen them a lot in my Lego vacuum engine videos, as just used as a flywheel, because these are nice and heavy, and they just look nice. So I'm going to be throwing these on. So now, as you guys might be able to tell, I actually put the spacers on there. So now there's a too long distance of spacer, and that's because this wheel actually kind of overlaps on the inside, like that. So I'm gonna throw all these on and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. All right, so this is what the Jeep looks like with the largest tires I have. Honestly, it doesn't even look that bad. I think it kind of looks like a safari Jeep, or like a kind of an on-road Jeep, just because you know, the tires aren't super rough and rigid or anything for that off-road terrain. But I think overall it looks really nice. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Thank you to all of you who subscribed watching my short as well. Be sure to check it out if you haven't seen it already. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. You know, let me know what you guys think of this video in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.